It's one thing to there's one thing to say that you love God, and quite another thing to demonstrate the love that you have for God. We talk a lot about the promises of God, and I think we celebrate that a lot, in particular in Christianity. I'm not Muslim, Buddhist, or anything like, or any other. I didn't come up in those cultures. And some of the other world religions or religions within on the earth, belief systems. Now, although not explored, these belief systems are rooted in the Bible as well. Christians like to focus in on the Jesus experience, not understanding that the Bible is a book of history. What makes the Bible so real to me is that it opens up the realities of where we came from. And although centrally focused within the Christian community on the line of Moses, there is ample evidence of other societies with other belief systems. The attitude which is prevalent, very real, in our culture today, in particular here in the United States of America. And again, this is for my kids, my grandkids, those who consider me a teacher around the world. It is very important to understand that there are multiple cultures around the world. These cultures are important as well, which is the reason why I focus, or part of my focus is to try to make this Bible commentary relevant, real, on multiple levels as it pertains to business, social relevance, personal relevance, and other levels of understanding. It's important that you don't just walk around thinking everyone other than your thinking is crazy. It's one of the biggest challenges I think we have in Christianity. And I've been involved with Christianity for about 30 years now as an adult. And I think there's too much judgment on other cultures as being wacky, which makes you wacky. The very thing you accuse someone of is probably the very thing that you are. Wacky. Wacky. I'm hoping I'm not wacky. I'm really, I don't want to be wacky. I want to deal with the realities of life, because for me to win a brother or a sister takes me having some compassion, which I freely admit I'm working on, towards people. I don't have a problem loving people. I'm learning and I'm getting better at liking people. Let me explore that just a little bit. The love of God is shed abroad in all of our hearts. Because of things you've gone through, sometimes that love is hard to see, but it is shed abroad. That's the reason why it's put that way, in our hearts. It's broad. To love someone, you get to know them. Let's just think on an intimate level. If I love you, I'm going to take some time to get to know you, or get to understand you. To get to understand you on some level. Some people are hard to love, and I don't mean that to be a backhand compliment or a backhand statement. They're just hard to love because they won't open themselves up to it. For whatever reasons they've gone through or what have you, they're distant, they're guarded. So you may love them, but they're very guarded. There's this person in my life that's very, I see the love of God in this particular person, and I tried to get personal with him, and a hard no. Titanium, brick, steel wall jumped up. Just trying to be personal. I didn't hold it against them, but what I saw was someone who had a challenge receiving love. Unconditional love. No expectations. Just met you. Just had a hard time with it. So the love of God, in my opinion, and the way I read the Bible, is a responsibility for us. Getting to understand someone gives you the opportunity to learn how to love them. Get to understand them, you know how to love them. If you understand me, you know how to love me. Because you take the time, you ask questions. With some of the people that I've spoken to over the years, one of my biggest pieces of advice is ask questions. In the asking of questions, you're taking interest in that person. By taking interest in them, you know how to love them. You may find out you like them, and they're not of your belief system. Because you find out what their belief system is rooted in. And it's the rare person who has a belief system that's rooted in hate. Here, finishing up in Genesis 15, you're going to find that Abram has been given land that is occupied by the descendants of the Canaanites, which are comprised of, I believe, 10 tribes. You're also going to find that it wasn't about destroying the people, it was about integrating the people into a better belief system that was rooted in their own history. but began to take on, not began, they had taken on different religions, if you will, different belief systems. Abram's job, if he so chose to take it, which he did, was to go into that land, bringing the belief system that God has showed him. And Abram had been demonstrating all of his adult life, which is following the leading of God, as he had learned it from Terah, his father, which is of the line of Shem, son of Noah. The promise was that Ham would serve Shem and Japheth, which is another conversation. Japheth is, well, that's another conversation. We'll get into that, I believe, a little further down the line. Possibly. So I want you to understand the work that it takes. This is not about just killing off people. The goal and the vision of God, the goal and the vision of God is to plant the kingdom of heaven, which is a place where the kingdom of God, which is the belief system, is operated. Your job, if you so choose to take it, is what I'm about to read. Not in arrogance, which looks like confidence without any educational background. Arrogant people push their belief systems on people. Confident people share their belief system with people, giving them the opportunity to be a part of something that is greater, which is the kingdom of God. Your attitude, the right attitude, is not that of a destructive behavior of taking over anything by destroying it. If God makes a covenant with you, it means he is already giving you authority in that realm. God makes a covenant with you, he's giving you authority, his authority. When Jesus came, he came with the authority of God the Father. You know the story. Dove descending on the shoulder. This is my son in whom I'm well pleased. If he had acted before that, he would have been acting without the authority. But once the authority comes to you, it is your job, or this is the work that I'm describing to you. In Genesis chapter 15, verse 18, in the same day. Well, let's go back to 17. Genesis 15, 17. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. Remember, in video 52, we talked about the pieces. The heifer, the turtle dove, the pigeons, the ram. What am I missing? Another animal. There's 5 animals. The goat, the she-goat. Verse 18. Verse 17. Dart past 17. 18. Verse 18. Genesis 15:18. In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed. Remember, this isn't about Abram. We're thinking legacy. Abram's job was to set up the kingdom for legacy's sake. Unto thy seed have I given this land from the river Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. The Kenites, the Kizanites, the Cabanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, and the Rephaims, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. Now, I'm not going to go over all of them because I didn't look all of them up, number one. And number two is, I only have about 4 more minutes here. 5. But I wanted to give you an idea. No, not an idea. I want you to see a different mindset as it pertains to the job, the work of the ministry. Abraham's been given authority. He has been promised the land. He goes into the land with these inhabitants. And his job is to raise altars. The altar is where we worship. The altar is where we gather. If you remember, well, we're not there right now because I already did Leviticus, but Exodus, Leviticus. The altar is where we make sacrifices. The altar is where we make confession. The altar is where the priests give instruction to make things right with other tribes, other individuals. So the altar is where you bring gifts. Abram's job was to set up the system socially, business, personally, spiritually. Now, are those all the systems? No. I just don't have understanding of everything. A lot of things I don't understand yet. I'm learning as you are. This is my personal Bible study. Study to show yourself approved. But just a few of the families in this short period of time that I have, the Canaanites. The Canaanites were of Cain. They were metal workers. That's business. They were artists. They were excellent in trading. This gives you an idea that they were operating part of the system, but they were nomadic, which means that they took on no particular belief system. The Hittites, currently today's Turkey, country of Turkey, came from the Hatti tribe or culture. They were part of Asia Minor and the Mesopotamian kingdom in West Asia, also sons of Canaan. And they were polytheistic, which means they believed in many gods. So I just want you to see that the belief systems were varied, just like the Kenizzites in the land of Arabia, Arab. Different belief systems. Even the Canaanites, going back to them real quick, understand this was this was Jethro's tribe. Jethro is Moses' father-in-law. And keep in mind, because we're sharing this in our videos, that one of the sons of Jethro traveled with Moses, or took on the belief system thereof. So the idea is not to be condescending of people with different belief systems. It's demonstrating a better way. You can't tell me about your religion and you're not demonstrating the belief system that your religion represents. How hypocritical is that? And in your hypocrisy and your arrogance, you're speaking down to other people of other belief systems, proclaiming that you are the way, the truth, and the life, all while decimating and degrading others. Cash App $V Mr. Paul Dozier. Cash App $V Mr. Paul Dozier, or Zelle, paulcdozier@gmail.com, if you would like to support this teaching. Be great. And Ghetto Education in the Christ Culture is on Amazon Books. I have 2 other books there, also a book of poetry and another book called Get the Hell Out, Seeing People with the Right Eyes. It'd be great if you could support this. Please like and share this video or podcast if it is beneficial to you. Share with your family, friends, Bible study, church, temple, mosque. And God bless you in all that you do to move the kingdom of God forward and help to establish the kingdom of heaven.